Hey there, and welcome. Today, we're going to pop the hood on our economy and take a look at the different kinds of engines that make the whole thing run. From that first little spark of an idea, all the way to the combined power of an entire community. We're going to break down the business structures that really shape our world.
So let's start with a question. Just think for a second about the businesses you see every day. You know, the little shop on the corner, maybe a big law firm downtown, and your local credit union. On the surface, they seem like they're from different planets, right? But they actually share a really important fundamental connection.
And here it is. They are all crucial engines pushing our economy forward. But here's the catch. Not all engines are built the same way. Each one is designed for a completely different purpose, with a different structure. And today, we're going to explore 3 of these core designs. Let's start with the most basic, the one that's often at the very beginning of the story. I'm talking about the initial spark, the sole proprietorship. This is where so many business dreams get their start.
So, what is it exactly? Well, a sole proprietorship is a business owned and operated by just one person. Think about a freelance photographer, a local baker working out of their kitchen, or a carpenter. The really key thing to understand is that legally, there's no separation between the person and their business. It's the simplest, most direct way to turn your passion into a paycheck.
And this simple setup shows the incredible power one person can have. It's really the bedrock of entrepreneurship. And think about it. All these small businesses keep our local communities buzzing and vibrant. And sure, each one might only create a job or 2, but when you add them all up, they represent a massive source of employment. Plus, they can pivot on a dime, trying out new ideas without all the corporate red tape. And that's maybe the most important point of all. For anyone out there with a skill, an idea, or a product they believe in, the sole proprietorship is the most accessible on-ramp to the whole economic highway. It is the starting block for countless success stories. But, that raises a pretty big question. One person only has so much time, so much money, and so many skills. So what happens when an idea is just too big for one person to handle all on their own? Well, that's where our next engine comes roaring in, the partnership. This is all about combining forces, teaming up to build something bigger and stronger than you could by yourself. And you can really see the upgrade right here. Instead of one person trying to do everything, partners can pool their cash and bring different complementary skills to the table. Just imagine a business where one partner is an absolute genius at building the product, and the other is a total natural at selling it. That combined strength makes it way easier to get loans and lets them take on much bigger projects. The economic impact here is all about scale and specialization. Partnerships are how small businesses often grow and expand into bigger ones. You see them everywhere in professional services. Think about law firms or accounting firms. They bring together teams of experts to provide specialized knowledge that the rest of the economy absolutely relies on. Okay, so we've gone from the individual to the small group. But what if we zoom out even further? What if the goal isn't just about making a profit for 1 or 2 people, but about creating a benefit for an entire community? And that question brings us to our third engine, the Cooperative Society. Now with this one, the entire model kind of gets flipped on its head. The focus shifts away from an individual owner and onto the collective power of all of its members. The key phrase to lock onto here is owned and controlled by its members. Just think about that for a second. Unlike the other models we've talked about, the very people who use the service are also the people who own the business. The whole goal isn't to maximize profit for some outside investor, but to create a mutual benefit for everyone who's involved. So how does this actually work in the real world? It's a really powerful 3-step process. First, the members all pool their resources together. That gives them collective ownership and, importantly, control. And with that shared power, they can achieve economic goals together, like farmers banding together to get a fair price for their crops, or neighbors forming a co-op to get access to affordable groceries. A perfect example of this is a SACO, which is a savings and credit cooperative. These organizations play a huge role in promoting financial inclusion. They give members a safe place to save their money and get access to affordable loans, empowering whole communities that might otherwise be ignored by traditional banks. Okay, so we've looked at 3 pretty distinct engines. Now, let's put them all side by side to really see the complete picture of our amazing, diverse economic landscape. So here's the breakdown. The sole proprietorship, that's all about the individual, the person who sparks that first entrepreneurial fire. The partnership is about collaboration, bringing people together to fuel growth and specialization. And the Cooperative Society, that's focused squarely on the community, empowering its members and promoting inclusion. Each one plays a totally different but equally vital role in the economy. And that is the real takeaway here. You see, a strong, healthy, and resilient economy isn't built on just one of these models. It needs all three. It needs the creative spark of individuals, the scaling strength of partnerships, and the collective power of communities all working together.
So, we've seen how each of these structures brings something absolutely essential to the table. And that leaves just one final question for you to think about. From that single spark to community power, which part of this incredible economic engine will you build?